If you are editing many workflows, you'll find yourself pasting the same pieces of code over and over. This can get tedious and make your GitHub Action configuration harder to manage. Let's dive in why reducing repetition is important and how it can make your workflows more maintainable. Imagine you have a frequent set of steps for Node.js projects. For instance, setting up your node, caching node modules, and clean install. I'd imagine if you have multiple projects in a single repository, this gets repeated over and over. Nice thing about GitHub Actions is that you can extract this in a shared job, and it's called a composite action. And it will not be in workflow, it will be in actions, and we'll name it setup node environment, and it will contain a single file, action YAML file. When you create a shared action, when you create any action that will be used in your workflows, this is the mandatory setup. It needs to be in actions directory. Your action needs to be directory and contain at least a single file called action YAML. Now for the name. And description will be setup node, cache, and clean install. For this to work, it needs to be a composite action. And the steps are: first, we need to set up which node version are we using. But I don't want to hard code it. That's why we have inputs. It will be passed in the workflow which uses it. And it's a required one. Okay. After we've set up the node version, we want to cache our node modules. And we need to specify a path, and we need to specify a cache key. So again, I don't want to hard code it. Let's call it cache path, and key, let's call it cache key. Cache path can be one or multiple, and again, it's required. And another one is cache key. Key for caching. So when using the cache key, use your own logic. You would either be using the commit SHA if you're sharing the directory between jobs, or for example, if it's node modules, maybe hash of the package log JSON is a good choice because it doesn't change unless your dependencies change. Okay, and the last step is maybe project Again, I don't want to hard code it. And if you're using bash commands, you need to specify that it's a bash. Otherwise, in other case, if you were using this in the workflow, you would not need to specify this setup, but since it's a composite action, you need to define each time you run a bash command, you need to define also this. Now let's use our action in the actual workflow. And this is something I no longer need. It will be first step is the checkout step. Checkout always needs to be first because GitHub action will not know which actions, which workflows it needs to run. It needs to check out and read the code. And let's point to our shared action. And I've already explained, we've set up several different inputs. And we need to define those. Every input that you use in a shared action, you need to declare it. Node version, let's use 18. Cache path is hello React node modules. Cache key would maybe be, and the last part is the project, and it's called the hello React. And how many lines of code we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we also have less lines of code. And I believe this is enough. Let's see if I need to paste it in another job. The release process also uses same steps. And let's commit it. I'm using conventional style commits with commitizen. This would be changes to continuous integration. And let's check if my action is correct. Now let's see how it works. Okay, it works as it's supposed to. It sets up node. We specify it should be number 18. Cache path, key, and project are over here. And this is it. All of these steps are executed inside a composite action called setup node environment.